Mother Teresa, a woman who devoted her life to serving the poorest of the poor, whose name became synonymous with compassion, humility, and unconditional love. From her beginnings in a small town in Macedonia to the crowded streets of Calcutta, she carried a mission that transcended borders, religions, and cultures. Her story is not only one of charity, but of courage, faith, and an unshakable commitment to humanity. Today, we will walk through her remarkable journey, uncovering the moments that shaped her life and the legacy that still inspires millions. Mother Teresa was born as Anjezë Gonxhe Bojaxhiu on August 26, 1910, in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire. She grew up in a devout Catholic family, learning from her mother the values of kindness and charity. When her father died suddenly, the family faced hardship, but her mother's resilience became a model for young Anjezë. The seeds of compassion were sown early in her heart, nurtured by faith and the examples of generosity she witnessed at home. At the age of 12, she felt a strong call toward religious life. The idea of dedicating herself fully to God and to serving others grew stronger as she matured. By 18, she left her family behind to join the Sisters of Loreto in Ireland. This decision was a profound act of courage, stepping into the unknown with nothing but faith as her compass. In Ireland, she learned English and prepared for missionary work, eventually traveling to India, where her life's purpose would fully unfold. In 1929, Anjezë arrived in Calcutta, India, as a novice with the Sisters of Loreto. She took the name Teresa, after Saint Teresa of Lisieux, the patron saint of missionaries. For nearly 2 decades, she worked as a teacher at St. Mary's High School for Girls, serving mainly the daughters of the poor. She was known for her kindness, patience, and ability to inspire hope in her students. Yet, outside the convent walls, poverty, suffering, and despair filled the streets. Calcutta at the time was a city of sharp contrasts. Wealth and colonial structures stood alongside slums where people struggled to survive. Teresa could not ignore the suffering around her. Every day, she saw children starving, families abandoned, and people dying alone in the streets. The reality weighed heavily on her spirit. Though her teaching brought joy, she felt an even deeper calling: to step beyond the safety of the convent and immerse herself fully in service to those forgotten by society. In 1946, while traveling by train to Darjeeling for a retreat, Teresa experienced what she later described as a call within a call. She felt that God was urging her to leave the convent and serve the poorest of the poor directly. It was a turning point that defined the rest of her life. With courage and determination, she asked for permission to leave her teaching position and step into the streets of Calcutta with nothing but faith and a desire to serve. Wearing a simple white sari with a blue border, the attire that would become her signature, she began her mission. She walked into the slums, tending to the sick, comforting the dying, and feeding the hungry. Without resources, she relied on providence and the generosity of others. Slowly, volunteers joined her, moved by her example of selflessness. Her small act of obedience to that call within a call grew into something the world could no longer ignore. In 1950, Mother Teresa founded the Missionaries of Charity, a congregation dedicated to serving the poorest of the poor. The mission was simple, yet radical: to see Christ in every suffering person and to serve them with love and dignity. Starting with just a handful of sisters, the order grew rapidly. They opened homes for the dying, orphanages for abandoned children, and centers for lepers, offering not only physical care but also dignity and compassion. The Missionaries of Charity became a beacon of hope in a world struggling with inequality and indifference. Their blue-bordered sari became a symbol of service and mercy. Over time, the order expanded beyond India, reaching every corner of the globe. Mother Teresa herself became the face of this movement, not seeking fame, but embodying humility and relentless love. For her, every life mattered, and no suffering was too small to address. As her mission grew, so did global recognition. In 1979, Mother Teresa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work. She accepted it not for herself, but on behalf of the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the blind, the lepers, all those who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for. Her speech emphasized that peace begins at home, with love for one another. She became an international symbol of compassion and faith in action. Yet, not all voices were favorable. Critics questioned her methods, the conditions in some of her homes, and her stance on issues like contraception and abortion. For some, her work represented hope. For others, it was controversial. Still, Mother Teresa remained unwavering in her mission, insisting that her role was to serve, not to engage in political debates. Whether praised or criticized, her focus remained on the individuals before her, the sick, the dying, and the forgotten. In her later years, Mother Teresa's health weakened, but her spirit never dimmed. She struggled with heart problems and exhaustion, yet continued to lead the Missionaries of Charity, always prioritizing the needs of the poor over her own comfort. Even in frailty, her presence inspired hope and strength in those around her. She remained a global figure, traveling and advocating for compassion until her final days. On September 5, 1997, Mother Teresa passed away in Calcutta at the age of 87. Her death was mourned not only in India, but across the entire world. Leaders, believers, and ordinary people united in grief for a woman who had lived for others. Her funeral was attended by dignitaries and millions of people who had been touched by her mission of love. In 2003, Pope John Paul II beatified her, recognizing her as Blessed Teresa of Calcutta. And in 2016, Pope Francis canonized her as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Her canonization affirmed what millions already believed, that her life was a testament of holiness expressed through service. Today, the Missionaries of Charity continue her work in over 130 countries, carrying forward her legacy of mercy and compassion. Mother Teresa's story is not merely one of charity. It is a powerful testimony of faith in action. From a young Albanian girl named Anjezë Gonxhe Bojaxhiu to the beloved Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she showed that true greatness is not measured by wealth, fame, or power, but by service to others. Her life reminds us that love is strongest when it is directed toward those who cannot repay it. Her example teaches that each of us has the ability to make a difference, no matter how small the act. A smile, a kind word, a moment of listening. These are the seeds of compassion that can transform the world. Mother Teresa believed that peace begins at home, in the way we treat our families, our neighbors, and strangers we encounter. This truth remains as relevant today as it was during her lifetime. As we reflect on her legacy, we are reminded that the most profound impact we can leave is through love. Mother Teresa's journey challenges us to see beyond ourselves and to embrace the suffering of others with courage and humility. She did not seek recognition, but her life became a beacon for all humanity. And now, I would love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from, and what touched you most about Mother Teresa's story? Share your reflections in the comments. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more stories that uplift and transform.